Good morning. It is all of 2 degrees outside right now, and I'm in my little garage studio. So let's get going. We're going to start with the standing position since it's too cold to sit and relax. So we are going to start in a mountain pose and work on getting our breath in fairly quickly, and start with your feet. So with your feet, you start with your heel and kind of pull forward and then get your toes nice and wide. Your knees are straight, but just a little bent. Your hips are tucked under so that the bottoms of your hips come forward. Your butt's tucked a little bit. Shoulders back just a scooch. And then your head is plopped on top. All right, so grab your breath in through your nose. Start working either on your chest or in your belly, or both. Breathing through your nose does increase your body heat. Not much, but a little bit. And if you do a bunch of quick inhalations and kind of hyperventilate, that also increases your body temperature. I was just reading about some breathing techniques yesterday that involved the monks having a wet blanket on them. And then using these breathing techniques, they would dry the blanket. That's crazy. We aren't doing any blankets today. Do a couple more breaths into your belly. What we will do today is some sun salutations. Get us warmed up, and then we're going to get into a crescent lunge sequence that is going to involve an airplane, which I don't think we've done before. All right, so let's get going. Inhale, up in the air and down. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Walk your feet back into a high plank. Come down into a low plank. Push up into a downward dog. Curl your toes under on the exhale and back to downward dog. And I'm going to turn sideways so you can see that all again. Pull up my socks. I am wearing my friend Brian Davis's Follow Hollow socks. They are alpaca. And they're so far keeping things warm. All right, inhale, look to the top of the mat. Walk your feet forward into a half lift, or forward fold, now into a half lift. Forward fold, all the way up to a mountain pose. Right back down. We'll do the same thing again. Inhale to a half lift. Let's get our breathing. Exhale, hands down to a plank. Continue to exhale. Inhale into the cobra. Exhale back to downward dog. So generally, we'll try to get 3 to 5 breaths in the downward dog. Let's walk our feet forward on the exhale. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale back into the forward fold, all the way up and all the way down. Inhale, exhale, high to low plank, into cobra, exhale back to downward dog. I'm going to do one more of those. Hopefully get a little warmed up, which is the purpose of the sun salutation. There, yes, are also moon salutations. Good. Walk your feet forward on the exhale into a half lift on the inhale. Exhale all the way up. Arms reach, 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 reach. And then back down. We'll do one more of these. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, hands down. Inhale to the cobra. And exhale to a downward dog. All right. Hopefully you've got some breath moving, a little bit of heat. All right. So in our downward dog position, the inhale is coming up on our heels. The exhale is coming down on one heel. Good. Right. Inhale, one leg up into splits or three-legged dog. Bring your right foot forward if that's the one you just want, whatever leg you have. Then we're going to come into our crescent lunge. All right, so I'm actually getting warm in here. Crescent lunge, both feet are forward, which then creates the balance issue. Front knee over your front ankle. The weight is you're trying to push our weight back so that the back heel is going towards the ground. I am just waiting. You can bring your arms up if they're ready. I'm having a balance moment. So we have our balance. Good. Now, the inhale might be coming forward a little bit with your torso. The exhale might be reaching back. So the goal is to have a pretty straight back. I'm actually getting warm. Whew. I have long underwear bottoms underneath everything here to keep warm. I think that may have been too much. So I am reaching back, not quite trusting myself yet to look up. But that's your next goal, is to be looking up as you create a back bend. And you want to get as much weight on your back as you can. All right, here comes the fun one. This is going to be airplane. Right, so, oh boy, I'm going to bring, maybe we have done these before. It's like a warrior 3, which I think we have done. So now we're just going to bring our weight forward onto my right foot. My arms are going to be back behind me. And I am going to just bring my left foot back and tripod and tilt over. And that's where I'm going to start. All right, so here. So if you can, if you feel ready, bring your left foot up. And now it becomes a balance pose. So what I'm trying to do is just look straight down at the bottom, the base of the garage, look at the floor, find a spot, and I'm just staring at it. Kind of looks like the moon surface. So breathe into your belly. We're just going to hold this for a couple more breaths. Good. Now bring it down, your foot back down, your back foot. See, I think the value in watching me do these poses is that there is no elegance or grace, nor does the pose look very professional. But it's the best that I can do. And I think that's the value. Not that I'm trying to sell it, but There's something to be said for that. All right, so we're back in our crescent lunge. Okay, I'm going to flip over to the other side because we're going to come into our warrior two in a moment and then come into our triangle. All right, so drop your back foot, rotate your hips and shoulders into a warrior two. Inhale, your front leg straight, reach with your right hand, and your whole torso is just bending over. All right, so you have a lot of options here in the breath. So typically the inhale will be bringing your torso up, and then the exhale will be bringing your torso down. Maybe your right hand comes a little bit closer. You also, on the exhale, want to take your left shoulder and rotate it back so that you're trying to stack your shoulder. You can also try to expand your base a little bit. Couple more breaths. Good. Now bring your torso up, have both feet facing forward, and we're going to come into a wide stance forward fold. So my feet are wide. I'm just going to start with my hips and just tilt forward. I can have my hands on my knees as I'm just kind of keeping myself from falling over. Eventually, I'm going to get my hands to the floor. Inhale is bringing your torso up, just like you did with regular forward fold. Exhale, bringing it down. You'll feel this in your lower back, maybe in your hamstrings and your glutes, sometimes in your calf muscles, the outer muscles of your legs. We'll do this a couple of times. Good. All right. A couple more breaths here. All right, now we're going to slowly come up. Now, instead of going through the whole routine, we could have just come right back down. We're just going to rotate. So now your left foot, or whatever foot you didn't start with, is now in the front. And you're doing crescent lunge this way. All right, so take a moment to get there. Okay, so again, and you can always in crescent lunge have your hands on your hips as a modification. If your shoulders don't work as well, you can always do most of the same things with your arms at your hips. That's what I do with my older clients. All right, so we'll be here 10 or so breaths. Inhale and exhale, bring yourself back or deeper into the pose. A couple more breaths. Good. All right, now we're going to start coming onto our left foot. Our right foot stays back as a tripod. Bring your arms, tilt your hips over. We're coming into airplane in a moment. The leg was already yelling at me a little bit. Just releasing some of the tension. Arms are back. Found my spot on the floor to look at. And now, here we go. So the difference between this and Warrior 2 or Warrior 3 is that my arms are not. Warrior 3, your arms are forward. Airplane, your arms are back. I wonder what they called this back in the day before we could call it airplane. I may have to find out. So I am feeling this almost entirely in my left glute, my left butt cheek. That's where you want to feel it, maybe in your hamstrings as well, obviously in your quads, but a lot in your left glute. Okay, 2 more breaths. And then inhale and exhale and back. Okay, so we're back in our crescent lunge for just a moment. You're going to inhale, drop your heel, roll around to the Warrior 2. Inhale your front leg straight, reach with your left hand. Rotate down into, our triangle. Balance is an issue this morning. I'm just going to shorten up the base a little bit. All right, so the goal, inhale, exhale your shoulder back, your right shoulder back, left hand down. Good, almost there. 2 more breaths. And then roll up. Good. I think that was only 1 more breath, but that's okay. All right, now we're in this wide stance again. I'm going to do a little bit different. So just get your feet where they can go. Start tilting over. Hands down if you can. This time we're going to walk our hands just gently over to the left, to your foot. Just creating a different kind of movement. So the inhale is to bring your torso back. Exhale to the side. And then back over. All right, now bring your hands down to the mat forward, and we're not going to create any kind of transition. We're just going to bring our feet down, our knees down, and come into a seated position, and then come down into a lying down position on your back. And since it's going to get cold here, I am going to zip up my coat again. Make sure I know where my gloves are. All right. So in our down position, let's drop your right knee down on the exhale. So inhale and then exhale down, and then bring it back up. Exhale, left knee down. Right knee down. Really work on your breathing. We'll do a couple more of these, then we're going to get into the reclining butterfly. Good. All right, let your knees drop open. Feet, soles of your feet together. I wonder as well, since I was wondering about airplane pose, if there is some etymological, I think that's the word for the origins of words, why there is a palm for your hands and why there is a sole for your feet. And is S-O-L-E in any way related to S-O-U-L? I don't know. These are things that I wonder about. And this is why my theory about the ADHD monk creating yoga, because I can't even keep a straight thought doing yoga, much less trying to meditate. So that's my little tangent to get you thinking about things today. Inhale your knees up just a little bit and just letting them fall down. We've done this before. The goal here is just to relax your inner thigh muscles, your psoas muscle, and your inside of your hip. It may not quite get to your psoas, but it's close. It's part of it. All right, now we're going to do things just a little bit differently. Get your hands out to the side. Bring your knees and feet up so that they're both 45. All right, so this is going to be a bit of core work and a bit of opening for your spine. So we're going to inhale, we're going to exhale and drop both knees, try and keep them together over to the right without letting them come down. And then bring them back up on the inhale. And exhale down. Inhale up. We'll do a few more of those. Inhale up, exhale down. All right, now bring your knees in to your chest and give them a hug. How are we doing on time? Good. And then while you're bringing your knees in, you can roll a little bit on your spine, kind of roll back and forth. If you can give your knees a hug, you can bring your hands together. It's also a good opener for your back, lower back especially. Okay, and grab the big outside of your feet and or your big toes, whichever you can grab. Come into a happy baby. It's the same idea. You're just bringing your feet up into the air, kind of your knees into your armpits. Roll back and forth. The inhale is to relax a little bit. The exhale is to just let gravity take your feet and pull them down a little bit. Good. All right, let's roll on up to our seated position. We're going to do one twist. Bring your right hand over to your left knee, left hand behind you, just a little bit of a twist and look behind you. Inhale, come back. Exhale, look behind you. On the other side, left hand on the right knee, right hand behind you. Same thing, just turn and look on the exhale. Inhale, come back. And exhale, rotate. Okay, come back to your seated spot. Inhale down into your belly. Hands by your side, we're just going to come up, scoop up the air all the way on our inhale. Exhale, come down to heart center. Do that 2 more times. Inhale up. Very good. And exhale down. And then inhale, scoop up energy and bring it inside you. Thank you for joining us on this very cold winter morning. Namaste. All right, thanks. Check out the website, www.simpleendurancecoaching.com for more yoga, coaching, and strength training. Check it out.